Miss Main here with today's story, Growl. It is a non-fiction book, which means it's full of true facts and information. The reason that I chose this is earlier in the week I read a fiction book, which is kind of make-believe, about Bear Snores On. Remember, all of his animal friends were having parties in his little den and he just kept snoring on. So this kind of goes with the bear theme. If you would like to take the quiz number is 44237, and it is a 2.8 reading level. All right, so if this is within your level, it will be on Google Classroom for you to listen to a couple times. Lots of good information about lots of different kinds of bears. So Growl, a book about bears. Chapter 1. What do bears eat? In Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the bears eat porridge. But real bears eat much more than that. And they're hungry all the time. There are different kinds of bears. Each kind has its own diet. So different bears eat different things. The grizzly bear is one kind of bear. Grizzly bears feed on grass and roots, fish that they catch in the water, small animals that hide under the ground, and bigger animals like young deer. The food adds up. Each grizzly eats about 35 pounds of food every day. That might be a question on the quiz. How many pounds of food do they eat each day? It takes you almost 2 weeks to eat that much. Grizzly bears eat a lot because they're so big. A grizzly can grow to be longer than a sofa, which is like a couch, a sofa. It can weigh as much as 10 grown-ups. So they're much bigger, that's why they eat much more. Polar bears eat mostly seals. Sometimes they hunt walruses. They also feed on fish and whales that have died. Polar bears live where it is very cold. Eating lots of food helps them keep warm. Why do they eat lots of food? So they can stay warm. So does a thick layer of fat under their skin. That also helps them stay warm. Most bears like to eat honey, but some bears really love the sweet stuff. That's why they're sometimes called honey bears. Sun bears are the smallest bears. They're the length of a yardstick. Do you guys know how long a yardstick is? 3 feet. They weigh as much as a 4th grader. Sun bears spend much of their time climbing and resting in trees. There's also sloth bears. Maddie, did you know that? I know you're a big sloth fan. Sloth bears hunt ants and termites. The bears break open their nest. Then they stick out their tongue, slurp. They suck up the bugs. What loud noises the sloth bear make? The sloth bear moves very slowly, kind of like a sloth. That's how they got their name. Sloth is an old word that means slow. Giant pandas eat mostly bamboo. Without bamboo, they would starve. Giant pandas have chubby white bodies with black marks. They have 6 fingers on their front paw. The extra finger is like a thumb. It helps them hold the bamboo. People once thought giant pandas were big raccoons. Now most people think that pandas are really bears. Chapter 2. How do bears find food? All bears have a big nose called a snout. Can you guess how this helps them fill their tummies with food? How does that snout help their tummies? A large snout gives bears a sharp sense of smell. It helps them find food. Did you know that some bears can sniff a person from a mile away? They can smell a dead animal at 12 miles. My goodness. Bears will travel far to find something to eat, but they don't walk on their toes like most other animals. Instead, bears walk with their feet flat on the ground. They walk just as you do. Bears can also stand on two legs. This makes them much taller. It helps them get food that is hard to reach, and it helps them fight off enemies. For their size, bears are very fast runners. A big bear can charge a deer at 40 miles per hour. That's faster than a horse can gallop. Few animals can escape a bear charging them. Except for the panda, bears have 5 toes on each paw, and every toe ends in a long, sharp claw. The claws always stick out. Bears use their claws to dig for roots, climb trees, pick fruits and berries, and catch other animals. That might be important information on the quiz too. Bears are powerful animals. They have huge hairy heads and mouths full of teeth. The pointed front teeth rip into animals that they eat. The flat back teeth grind up roots and plants. Bears are very big. Their long, shaggy hair makes them look even bigger. Yet bears are mostly gentle, except when a person or an animal comes near their young or their food. Then watch out. Bears can get angry very fast. Chapter 3. How do most bears get ready for winter? In the fall, most bears eat more than usual. Every day they stuff themselves with food. They eat so much that they get very fat. The bears then look for a place to spend the winter. The bear's winter home is called a den. A den may be a cave, it might be a hollow tree, a space under a big rock, a shelter of twigs, or a hole dug in the snow. Soon the weather turns cold. The bears can't find enough to eat. One day it may start to snow. The bears head for their dens. They curl up and they fall fast asleep. All winter long, the bears don't eat or drink. They live off the fat in their body. They snore the days and nights away. The bears sleep for a long time, but they wake easily. A loud noise may startle them awake. Bears sometimes wake up on warm winter days. They crawl out of their dens. They may walk around for a while. Then the bears head back to their dens. Before you can say good night, they're snoring again. Bears really wake up when it is spring. Then they shuffle out of their dens. At first they're very thirsty. They drink lots of water. Sometimes they eat snow. Then they look for food. They sniff the ground in search of grass and roots. Bushes and trees are starting to bloom. Fish, insects, and animals are easy to find. Some other animals also sleep all winter. We say they hibernate. Bats, frogs, and snakes hibernate. They stay asleep for the whole winter. They breathe very slowly. Their heart beats much slower, and their temperatures drop way down. But do bears really hibernate? Bears sleep lightly and wake easily. Their breathing and heartbeat slow down only a little, and their temperature stays nearly the same. Some people say bears hibernate. Some people say bears just take a long nap. What do you think? Chapter 4. When are baby bears born? Most bear babies are born in the middle of winter. The mother gives birth in the den. She usually has 2 babies at a time. They are called cubs. The cubs are tiny. Each one looks like a rat without a tail. It weighs about a pound or so, 1 pound. That's much less than a human baby. The cubs are helpless. Their eyes are closed. They have no teeth. They have no fur, and they cannot walk. The cubs stay in the den for about 2 months. The mother bear snuggles them close to her. She keeps her babies toasty warm, and she feeds them milk from her body. The cubs grow bigger and bigger. In spring, the bears come out of their den. The cubs are bouncy and full of fun. Bear cubs and their mothers play together. Look, they're having so much fun right there, playing together. The mother teaches her cubs to hunt for food. She fights off any animals that come too close. The mother black bear teaches her cubs to climb trees. The cub feeds on nuts and leaves. They stay there until she tells them to come down. So cute, just hanging out in the trees. A mother polar bear teaches her cubs to swim. She also shows them how to catch fish. Often she gives the cubs rides on her back. A mother sun bear teaches her cubs to hunt at night. She helps them make a bed of branches in a tree. They sleep there during the day. All cubs stay close to their mothers for a long time. Some stay for several months. Some stay for a few years. In time, the cubs can care for themselves. They find their own food. They look for mates. Everything starts all over again. All spring, summer, and fall, the hungry bear eat and eat. When winter comes, they crawl into their dens. They go to sleep. Of course, they snore. The mother bears have cubs. They feed and cuddle their babies. If bears dream, they dream of spring. Sweet dreams, big and little bears. So cute. I hope you enjoyed that story. Listen to it a couple of times, get all those good information, all that good facts, and take a quiz and do well. I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's story. Bye, guys.